Welcome to the John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
I know, right? Hey, what's up, guys? I know that's so professional, isn't it? Isn't that? That's exactly what you want to. What do you want to see, right? Leading up to, fading to from black. This guy just like sitting there coughing. Hoo. All right, there we go. Okay, I can hear myself now. Okay. What's up, guys? What's up? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show. I am your host, Juan D. Clouser. We're here on episode 169. 169. Yeah, it sounds. Hello. Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't. You would think I'd have all this figured out, right? Being 169 episodes in, but I still haven't sort of figured this stuff out. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing this episode like super late. It's what 10:26 right now. In this great, wonderful world of Central Standard Time here in Missouri, or technically Overland Park, which is like the Kansas City, Kansas side of Kansas City, Missouri. If you're not familiar, there is Kansas City, Missouri. Well, there's Kansas City, which is in Missouri, but then there's also Kansas City, which is in Kansas. And it's the same city, but just cut in the middle with a, what'd you call it? A river, the Missouri. It's a lot like, was it Minneapolis and then St. Paul? Like it's basically two cities. Just one is on one side of the river. The other side, is that how it is on the other side? And the other side's on the other side? Yeah, that other side, it's on the other side of the thing of the side that we were, working on. But yeah, like I said, this episode's so late tonight. Today was a long day. I look like I just, looking at me, I look like I just got done playing 18 holes of golf today. But yeah, so long day. Did a lot of mowing this weekend. Did a little bit of golf. Did a lot of just, hanging around. Being a riff raft and such. But yeah, I just, I don't know. It's like you thought that I was like building that up for like a punchline of some sort of, but I'm not. What's so funny about this episode was that going into it, most episodes I have a lot of stuff written down. I have a lot of stuff prepared. Not this one. This one, I don't. I'm coming in it with all energy. I'm just going to energy and push my way through for this 30 minutes and then, call it a thing. Because what's so crazy is that I have to edit this, and then usually by this point in the night, I'm usually uploading and I'm done with this podcast and it's already over and it's done and we've moved on with our life, but not tonight, not here, not now. So before this podcast started, I took a couple hits of this. It's like Hidden Hills. It's a California brand. It's marijuana. Well, it's not marijuana because it's THA, or it's like one of those like Delta 8, Delta, there's like the Delta 8, Delta 10, TCHA or something like that. It's weird. Those things are so weird because they're almost like weed. It's almost like weed. It gets you there, but it gets you like next door to weed, but it doesn't get you to weed. It's such a weird thing. It has all the answers that you don't want answered. Unlike weed, where it's like it just kind of feeds you things and it gives you information that you never would have thought of. The Delta 8 and the Delta 10 and like that other, the Delta A or Delta something. It just mostly it just puts you in a weird place. You're just like, okay, I feel like I'm kind of high, but it's just like this is synthetic as hell. It's kind of like drinking a Bud Light just versus a Budweiser. I don't know what it is, but a cold Budweiser from the can, not from the can, from the bottle. There's not very much things that are better. And then like a Bud Ice, I love Bud Ice. It's the same thing as a Budweiser. It's a Budweiser just brewed at a colder temperature. It's really honestly the only difference, and it's a lot more alcohol content because apparently when you brew it at a colder temperature, it doesn't burn off as much alcohol. Who would have known, right? I believe that's the thing. I'm not, it just is what it is. So, but yeah. That's the thing. It's just a weird thing. It's like, oh, I looked up on the clock. It's like, oh, how much have I gone past? Oh, 6 minutes. Got a long show. Not really. But I guess like the first thing we should probably just like go ahead and get into it. You guys just want to get into the small amount of things that I had written down for this week. What I should have done is I should just have grabbed from old stuff and just brought it up, which in turn, that's probably what I'll just do in a couple seconds. Oh, guys, hold on. We're holding on one big thing. I know you guys, there you go. See, that one light pulls together the whole room. I don't think you guys even see any of it except down here, maybe. Down on the ground. Down here, maybe. I don't know. It's like these, the Christmas lights. It's those little fuckers. It's those things. And, yeah, I love them. I love it. And especially like you turn off all the lights, it just sets a really good mood up in here. Do you see I have nothing to say? Have nothing to talk about this week? It is what it is. This is a show sometimes. When you do 169 of these, 69, you just kind of don't have things to talk about sometimes this week. But the real big thing, I guess, I had a small list of stuff. And so my job, you know how much, another job story, because you know how much I love that place. I work in hell's, like the waiting room to get to hell. I really do feel like that's where I work. And it's awful. I fucking hate my job with every ounce of me. Like, John, why don't you get a new job? I am. But this job has really good benefits. So the next job I get has to have just equal to or greater benefits. And let's be real, sometimes that's hard to find. You're not going to just find that. You're just not going to find that going in and out and working there. But we got a new person, and you might be wondering, John, why would you call your job hell? Why would you say it's like working in the waiting room of hell? I'll tell you this. So there are certain people in this world, there are people who smoke cigarettes and then don't wash their hands or anything like that, and they just smell like cigarettes all the time. Those people are awful. Those people are gross. There are people who use public bathrooms and then don't flush. Those people are in the waiting room going to hell, if not already in hell. They're awful people. And then there are people who sing with the radio. There's those people. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the worst humans in this world, because no one needs to be doing that. Hell, I don't understand why you want to work and listen to music to begin with. But hey, that's personally me. That's just me. I know I'm weird. I know I stand alone. And the cheese stands alone on this one. Me, the guy in the blue shirt. I get that. I just don't understand why you have to sing along to this gospel music. And nothing's wrong with gospel music. God bless it. It's beautiful because these people can sing it. This person can't sing this gospel music, and it is just ringing throughout the building, just like on the cross. And I want to take a soldering iron and just shove it through my fucking eyeball, because I don't get why you want to do that. And it's not just because there's the people who talk, or the people who sing while the song is going on at the same time they sing with it. Oh, awful. But there's those people who hear the first four measures of the song when the song's building up, and they start singing the words, and so then they're singing the words, and then the actual singing comes in. It's like this fucked up canon, and you're like, why are you doing this? Why can't you just fucking work without anything going? Why can't you just sit there in your own thoughts? Like, why is your brain so shitty that it can't just sit there? Instead, you have to sing for all of us like you're doing American Idol competition. Oh, God, it angers me so much because it is so intrusive. It is so intrusive. You might as well just fucking pull your pants down and put your dick on the goddamn table, sir. You might as well do that because there's no difference. You're a fucking asshole. You are a fucking cock for doing this shit. No one wants to hear you sing. If you were good enough, sir, you're 56. If you were so goddamn good, you would have been found by now. I just don't understand. Save it for your fucking church choir. For the love of God. Save it for your car, please. Anything is better. Anything is better than having to listen to you fucking sing. And not just sing, sir, but you fucking go before the song even. And then just this fucked up canon. And I'm standing there. Just like thinking like, you know what, maybe if I slam my head against this table, if I slam it hard enough, I can get COVID and I can not have to work for a couple days. I swear to God. I'm just... And ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who doesn't enjoy things because there's no reason not to like that. There's no reason to be against singing. There really isn't. But there's the thing where you're like, it's like, why here? Why now? Why work? We all hate this fucking hell hole. Why do you sing, you fucking asshole? Stop. Okay. All right. It's just, it's not. I've been told it's not kosher to get upset because it makes you look like you're a psycho, or it makes you look uneducated, or it's not appealing. People don't want to be around people with that kind of energy, and I understand that. I truly do. But you don't understand how it is to have an individual who sings at work. It's some of the worst shit in the world. It really is. Like, there's but I'm also the same human who's like, I'd rather you not help me do my job. I'd rather not have your help. Or like someone who like is like, oh, let me help you with this part of thing. Like, please don't. I don't want you doing that because you're not going to do it the way I want to do it. And then if you do it, then I'm going to have to go back over, and then it's like twice as much work because I'm just going to be pissed that I have to redo this, and then 2, I'm going to be pissed at you because you touched my shit, and then it's like I don't do it to your stuff. I don't fucking go over and pull my pants down and rub my butthole against your papers. So don't do it with mine. Please, God, for the love of God. I hate my job, if you haven't noticed. I hate it so much. So goddamn much. That it's just singing. I rather have the people, the people that gawk at you because they hate you, and it's like so funny because there's always someone at your job that you and them hate each other, and it's just how it has to be. That's just how the world is. It always is. Like, there's always that person, and like no matter like there was no real big thing that occurred to make you guys dislike each other. It's just that you just look at him, he looks at you, and he wants to be like, you're a fucking cocksucker. And you're like, you're a cunt. And then you guys just dislike each other the rest of the time in this universe. Because somehow, as humans, we have created this process and this thought that like, hey, we should pay to live here. We should pay to live on this fucking planet. So dumb. So dumb. Don't you think it's dumb that we have to pay rent for things? I think it's dumb that we have to pay bills. It's dumb that we want to live like this. I do. But then if we didn't live like this, then I wouldn't be able to do this goddamn podcast, you fucking moron. Dude, like, see, this is at least, unlike the guy at my job, who likes to fucking sing to the fucking radio. Unlike him, I'm screaming. I'm doing my own screaming with the radio. I am by myself right now. But the thing is, I'm doing it in a room alone, not hurting anyone, not bothering. Granted, he's not hurting and bothering anyone. Well, he's hurting me and bothering me. And it's just that I hate things of positivity, maybe. I don't know why I hate this, but I really do. I just hate it. I don't. This is no offense to anybody. I just listen to music a little real. Read a book. Listen to a book on tape. Why don't you want to learn something? I don't understand why you want to listen to someone bitch and moan. Well, hell, what the fuck are you doing, John? You're bitching and moaning. Oh gosh, don't you just love finding yourself in like just being hypocritical? Don't you just love it? I was just talking to my mom about that today, how it's so much fun to, like, one of the great joys I've learned in my life is to be able to just make fun of my own self and understand my shortcomings. Like San Diego, that word San Diego. I always, no matter what, no matter how many times I write it down, and I've done this, I've written it down so many times on a piece of paper just over and over again. No matter what I do, every time I spell it, I always fuck up the E and the I. Always. And it's this moment I always have with myself. And I'm like, look at you, John. You can't spell in English or you can't spell in Spanish. Look at you, you fucking asshole. Like, both cultures are fucking looking at you and just shaking their head like, this fucking moron. Like, he's a fucking Latino and he fucking lives in America and he can't spell fucking San Diego. Fucking moron. I can spell LA though. See what I can do with my fingers too. Like, ooh. Ever seen that? I saw that. I remember seeing that once. I think it was a rapper, not a rapper. It was a wrestler, like a Latino, like luchador, wrestler, and he went like this, and I was like, okay, kind of dumb. I get it. I totally do get it. Like, have you ever thought about that? The people who think of like those things and like how to like do like, I shouldn't do it with wearing a blue shirt, but they, spell blood like with their fingers. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing, dude? I really do feel like the person who ever thought that up could have he could have been a scientist and at this point been someone who was on the board to cure COVID or some shit. It's just, I look at it and I'm like, fascinating. Crazy that you were able to, one, do that you want to do that. I could do that, but I'm not going to do it. And then two, because that's culturally appropriating. Is it appropriating? Preparation H. And two, I don't want to get hurt. I probably... The fuck? Why do you want to fucking hurt me? Well, let's see here. What else do I have? Let's see. What was it? Oh shit! Last week I had so much stuff. I had so much shit. Oh, I totally forgot about that. I guess I could tell you guys that. So I had this new segment, and it's called "Things Black People Made Cool Than White People Made Not Cool," but you find out black people made it, so it's actually kind of cool. So this week in that is the hockey. So hockey's going on right now, the playoffs, right? So the man who invented like the hockey stick was apparently like an Indian, which was cool as fuck. Win for us. But the modern day hockey where like it's everyone's kind of skates around and they hit each other and then the goalie drops down on his knees and slides around the goal. That was all because of the black Africans who played hockey in Canada in all places, and they made this called Afriville. Was it Africanville? It's no longer there, but it was. So there was this whole like it was called the colored Colored Hockey League, so the CHL, and it was just a collaboration of 12. It would intertwine. So, because like at that time, at that age, back in like what 1912, that's when it started. That's when they have the first documentation of this. That organizations come and go, teams and come and go because like the money, and so what was so cool though was that they would play hockey, and they weren't able to play during the they weren't able to play during when the white people played, so they had to wait for that. So it wasn't even like they had to wait till the whole season was over. So white hockey would have a season, and then the black hockey league would have its season, and then they would have to share like rink time, but they got the last rink time. So if there was like kids and stuff like that, all those people had seniority. White people had seniority over the black people, and it's such an interesting thing. So let's see here. Let's see what I have that I wrote down. New saving call, blah blah blah. Hockey. What you see today is because there was a group of Africans who played hockey. It grew because it was such a faster paced game that allowed hitting, and the goalies were allowed to slide and get on their knees. If you know how hockey is played today. Oh, that was the other thing. So the guy who invented it, the goalie who invented, the modern day like sliding around for a goalie, and putting his leg out, and all that stuff, that was all invented because of a black guy. It was because of a black guy, and it's just because the fact that they just had a different style of playing the sport. And but the funny thing about the whole thing, the interesting fact, he was 3'6" apparently. So he was an infant of a human. And so think about that. That is so crazy and so awesome, but like no one ever fucking talks about this. No one ever talks about black people and playing hockey. And then you see that there's like 3 people that play hockey right now, and like that style of hockey was all because of Africans. It was because of Africans, these immigrants, and they weren't able to play in American hockey or Canadian hockey, so they had to make their own league, and then they were all shoved in this Africaville, and then the reason why Africaville doesn't exist anymore because the white people then the sport started picking up with the colored hockey league, and the white people were not having it. They were not okay with this. And so they're like, well, why don't we just build a train track right through the town? And then there's this huge thing. And then what it did was it caused the town, because technically all this land was given to them. Isn't this kind of interesting how white people, even in America, so this land was given to these Africans because like they're telling them, like, these immigrants, because after World War I, and they were told, like, hey, take this land here, move here. And it was basically white people telling the black people, hey, we only want you over in this area, and this is the only area that as long as we can control you in one area, it makes it a lot easier for us to put you in jail. So much easier when you're all in place. And then, so what happened is they built a railroad track through it, and a bunch of the hockey teams like protested, and then after the protest, or the city took them to court and then lost, of course, because they're black people. Black people were not going to win a court case in 1812, or at that point, I think it was in the 1820s, late 1820s, or 1920s. My bad, 1920s. So at that point, like, what do you think? You think black people are going to win something like that? No. And so then all those teams got blacklisted, and that's what caused the league to eventually fall out and go bankrupt, was because they weren't able to get any rink time because no one would. They just got blacklisted for protesting. So crazy, right? They will always find a way to fuck. over black and brown people. It's a story as old as time. God damn it! Just like how people singing the radio with the radio on. But I thought that was like one of the most fascinating things. But I thought that was a funny title, like things that black people did. Things that black people made that were cool. That black people did it and made it not cool. And you find out that black people made it and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like, it's just what it is. It's kind of funny. What else do we have? Dude. Been doing, I don't know. Oh, this is just stupid. I wrote, anyone else? So, random question. Is anyone else just happy seeing Brittany Griner just competing so well in the WNBA this year? How many of you have been watching her? I bet all of you have been watching her, because we all made a big deal about her coming back to America. So I'm guessing you all know her stats right now, right? Right? Well, if you don't know, I'll tell you. I should do this. This should be a weekly thing too. Brittany Griner stats. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Let's look at what her stats are right now. If you're not familiar with Brittany Griner, she's number 42 center, 6'9", 205. I didn't think she was 205. She's actually pretty solid. She went to Baylor. She's 32. This year's stats, she's averaging 22.5, 8 rebounds, 22.5 points, 8 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 0.5 steals a game. And I bet I bet you guys all knew that, though, because you guys all wanted her back in America because of the fact that she is an American, right? And so because of that, she got back to the States, and you guys were all posting how great it was to see Brittany Griner be back in America. And I'm assuming that you guys all have been following her this season. And I guarantee you all know that she plays for, say it with me now. Say it with me. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury. That's correct. Yes, that is correct. See, that is but 22.5 points a game is pretty fucking solid. Doesn't matter if that's men or women. That's a pretty solid fucking stat line. I'm not gonna lie, I'll give that to her. The bitch can slam dunk, okay? I'm sorry, but can you slam dunk? Bet you can't. I bet you can't, but she can. And somehow she got back here in the States. So I'm glad to see that she's scoring 22.5 points a game, which is it doesn't tell you. I love how it tells you for all the other stats where it ranks. Where it ranks in the league, but it doesn't tell her points per game. So that's nice because she has 8 rebounds, which is tied for 12th. Assists, she's tied for 17th. So but like I said, we're all glad. I'm sure you guys are all very happy to see that Brittany Griner is doing well, because I know all y'all were all up in arms about her getting back home. So I'm sure you guys followed her in her career, right? That's what you guys were doing. That's what you guys do. That's what we do as Americans. We don't have a short attention span to things. We don't just say things. What's so awesome is reading statuses. Someone posts something I get it. Someone posts a video about this guy almost kidnapped this kid. And then you say oh, the other night I was out with my kids and this guy was acting creepy and it looked like he could have maybe kidnapped my kid. And it's well, you just took that whole post that actually something happened and you made a whole fictitious story out of it to fit your narrative. That was not, completely self-centered one bit at all. And we just accept it because we're fucking Americans and men can be women now. All right, I'm done. Okay, have a great week. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.